Hi, my name is Alicia Bigelow, and I'm here today to apply for the senior trainer position with virtual retail at T-Mobile. I've been with virtual retail and T-Mobile for 2 years. First, I spent a year as a virtual retail mobile expert, and then after that, I went on to the training internship. This is where I really found my passion for new hires and seeing them succeed. So today we are going to talk about some strategies for building a productive learning environment. Are you ready? Let's get into it. So our agenda for today. First, we're going to look at a definition of what is a learning environment. Then we're going to look at some examples of how to create that productive learning environment. After that, we're going to get into our strategies. And we're going to wrap it all up with our conclusion. All right, let's do this. So, can you tell me what is a learning environment? There are two parts to a learning environment. First, we're going to look at the location. So that's that physical or virtual classroom or meeting room, like what we're standing in today or what you're watching right now. That could also be that learning environment. Then we are going to look at our atmosphere. Our atmosphere can refer to the culture of the classroom. At T-Mobile, what makes us Un-carrier? That is our culture. So what can this look like? What is a productive learning environment? A productive learning environment is organized. You don't want stuff everywhere, going every which way. It is open and it is respectful. I definitely cannot be productive if I feel disrespected or belittled. And you know it needs to be relevant. We need relevancy to be productive. Why is this important for me? And we want it to be fun and engaging. So, who here doesn't want to have a good time at work? I am not going to do anything if it is not a good time. So let's get into our first strategy, which is preparation. Preparation is key. You need to be like a Boy Scout and be prepared. Always be prepared. You want to organize your materials and space. It is so hard to build a productive environment in a state of chaos. Please, 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 if you know how, please reach out to me. I would love to know the secret. After that, we have got to stay on task. One way of staying on task is really creating an agenda. Where are we going? If I have questions about what I'm doing and what I'm going to go next, I may end up in a rabbit hole and not even know where to go. So create and stick to your agenda. Our next strategy that we're getting into is individualization. You want to get to know your learners. We have so many different people, and you want to know, are they audio? Do they need to hear the information? Are they visual? I definitely need to see it be done to be able to learn my information. Or maybe they're kinesthetic. I just got to do it. Just put me in coach, let me do it, and I'll be good. So it's so important to tie back the modules, make sure that you have all of those needs met, but it's also so important to know, do we have any challenges to accommodate? Maybe you have somebody with some visual issues in the back row that they may need to move forward so they can really connect with you and the materials. I had a student that was very uncomfortable and felt like they were touching other students when they were sat in the middle. So we actually helped them by moving them in the back row to the corner so they could have space to breathe. And with that, I want to respect your challenges, but we want to commit to being open by creating a code of conduct. A code of conduct is something that we are all going to promise to do, so let's come up with it together. Something I will always, always, always encourage to be put on that code of conduct is having fun, because definitely if we're not having fun, we're not going to do it. Nothing is going to be productive. Something else I definitely think of putting on that code of conduct is tabling the cell phones. Cell phones can be very, very distracting and unproductive in a learning environment. A third thing that I would encourage you to put on that code of conduct, and my favorite, is celebrating differences. We are all so different. We all learn so differently that it is huge not to just accept each other, but to celebrate each other. So with that, let's get into another strategy, is relevancy. So we want to tie back a module so it can help the future success of our new hire. When am I going to need this? Am I going to need it tomorrow? Am I going to need it in a couple months? Am I going to need it yesterday? When am I going to need to know this module's information? Why will I need to know this information? Will I need to know this for a customer? Maybe it'll make my life easier. Maybe it's for coach. After that, someday we are going to kick those baby birds out of our nest, and they're going to need to know, how can I find this information? So with that, how can I find this information? That brings us to our next strategy, which is engagement. With engagement, we can empower teachbacks. So they can look at how to find the information and actually teach that back to the classroom. That makes things very productive. So we have our teach backs, but sometimes we need to get up off of our feet and just refocus with activities and games for a little friendly competition. Some friendly competition, it can definitely break up the day. So we can have all the games, all the teach backs, but we also want to know, are our students understanding the material? So you want to check for understanding often. So do you understand what we're doing? Are there any questions that you have about this? Are you with me? Those are great things to ask your students to see if they are really getting the information. And you also want to encourage questions from them. So with that agenda that we started off with, you can definitely carve out a time for them to ask questions. That way they are not just talking over everybody, being chaotic. there is a time and a place that they can write down their questions and ask them. Because who knows, maybe we will cover it in the next 30 to 45 minutes. So our next strategy, definitely, you want to have fun and connect with your learners. They're not going to feel comfortable to ask their questions if you are just up here just being like, Bueller, Bueller, Bueller. They need to know that you are there, because nobody is going to do anything if it is not a good time. And definitely leave students with resources, leave them with contacts, leave them with memories so they know the material that you guys went over together. And finally, congratulate and celebrate their success. They did it. They made those meaningful connections to the material. It's not about us as presenters. It is about celebrating them. They have been there with you every step. So in conclusion, definitely this is huge. Remember, when facilitating, you are not there to just deliver a presentation, but make meaningful connections with materials and set up your class for success. Have fun, enjoy, make memories. And with all of that, your learners, your classroom, it will be productive. Now, I definitely want to hear any questions, comments, or feedbacks from you. So please, please, please comment in the thread. I would be so happy to get to know you. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and have a magenta day.